Gil Perkins, one of the facilitators for the Startup Cup. And my entrepreneurial background is as the founder of an education technology company called Words Live. And I started the company to address the literacy crisis in education in K through 12. And I wanted to do it in a way that I knew would increase the engagement of students. It would allow them to demonstrate how proficient and how masterful they are over their learning content. I think they're not given the right platform. They're not given material to assess whether or not they can read and write over content that makes sense to them and is culturally relevant to them and helps them make sense of the world. And so what I did was create a system to integrate things like the music, particularly, but movies, web series, things they're consuming already, and connect it better and back to their classroom source material in a way that achieves the exact same learning objectives. And the technology automates lesson plans so teachers can do it seamlessly and have no excuse to allow their kids to do that in their classroom. And we went through the whole gamut from an idea to a couple sketches on a piece of paper to an interactive thing in a website to a fully functional web application that classrooms are actually using and teachers are actually using and parents are actually using it. Have scaled to a couple thousand teachers across the country using our beta and our MVP. And that allowed me to raise some money and then to go and build a real fully functional product, which I'm proud to say we're bringing to the country now. So it's been real. I've done every single part of this game, from raising money to hiring an engineering team, hiring staff, doing payroll, pitching like crazy, all across the country, going into pitch competitions. I've done a lot of accelerator programs. I feel like I've had my full share of the entrepreneurial journey in my background. So why is entrepreneurship so important? I come from the perspective that entrepreneurship is actually the backbone of this particular country, but especially for communities of color where, our job and our hiring rates are lower, our wages, our salaries are lower, and when it comes to wealth, there's not even a comparison with our counterparts. So entrepreneurship allows one to create wealth because it's actually an asset class. And if you can increase the valuation of that asset class, as well as pull cash out by being profitable, then you will achieve a lot of economic success that just our community hasn't been able to do. And quite frankly, something in a manner that you wouldn't be able to do with a job, even a high-paying job. So entrepreneurship is critically important to our community's ability to build wealth and to build assets that we own and can transfer and can keep in our family and can help generate other assets. So it's critically important economically for our community. Something I'm working on that's really exciting right now are new partnerships with parents in our sort of industry in education. Is called parental pods. And these are parents that are grouping together in response to the pandemic and saying we're going to take control over where our kids learn, how they learn, and they're becoming like micro independent schools. A lot of parents aren't comfortable with bringing their kids to school yet. So they're taking matters into their own hands. They're hiring their own facilitators and they're adapting curriculum to their kids' needs. And I think that's an exciting movement that's happening right now in education. I'm glad to be a part of it and help as many pods out as we can. So yeah, that's something. Why do I support the work at InnoHub? I think for the reasons addressed above, InnoHub is speaking directly to the community in Prince George's County. And like I said before, if you're going to be serious about wealth building, you have to be serious about asset building and asset generations and owning assets and being able to transfer and manage assets. And the InnoHub has taken a particular focus on helping entrepreneurs develop their programs and in effect develop that particular asset called the company. And so the goal is just to merge the best field practices with the best theory coming out of entrepreneur and startup literature. And I have a good background in both, so I'm able to help InnoHub. I think the community that the InnoHub has cultivated is a good one. And like anything else, when you're starting out, there's going to be a few brave souls, your early adopters that come in and are really excited about it. So I'm glad we've identified those people. And I'm hoping that, with the pandemic, the value proposition still gets applied, because you can't meet in person. We can't actually go to the physical location right now, so we're a bit remote, and I think that can, in a way, when you're starting out, it could maybe just kind of limit the effectiveness you have. But I think so far the NO Hub has cultivated a pretty active and vibrant young community here in Prince George's County. My experience facilitating the Startup Cup has been amazing. Like I love the entrepreneurs I get to interact with. I love the entrepreneurs I get to, advise in a way, right? So when you're facilitating the classes and facilitating the sessions, by default, I'm bringing a bunch of content, bringing a bunch of experiences. I get to advise, I get to help, I get to share resources, I get to connect. And that's what I love to do. That's what I'm passionate about doing with other entrepreneurs. Because like I said, I think this is something that can transform our community. So it's been amazing. I love facilitating. It's rewarding to me. There's just intrinsic value in being able to help other entrepreneurs reach their dreams and kind of, achieve things that maybe, you had a little bit of doubt they didn't think they could. That's something I really appreciate.